Why is everyone using Ninja Transfers?
Ninja Transfers is definitely killing them.
Hey y'all, hope you're doing well. I'm gonna try and play Ninad's music in the background. Let me know if the audio levels are good. Oh, let me know if it's distracting. This will be a little experiment. But good to see you guys. Thanks for being here. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to our Thursday live stream. Gosh, this is like our, I think we're going into our third month now of doing live streams. So yeah, these are a lot of fun for me. So I just want to thank you guys for being here. But today, the time is different. I apologize. I apologize to anyone who I screwed up by putting in my thumbnail that it was going to be at 10:30 Eastern, and I actually started it at 10 o'clock Eastern. My mistake. Don, thank you for pointing that out. Okay, let me make the music a bit lower. How's that, Ninad? Keep me honest here. Hey, Rob, welcome. Hey, Naz. Good to see you guys. Monique, welcome. Lego, of course, and Don. But yeah, apologies for the miscommunication. I need to just make sure I'm not copying and pasting my thumbnails from week to week. I actually have to make sure I'm updating the time correctly. But you guys, this week, I will not be able to do a full 2 hours. Sadly, I will do a 1 hour stream. And the reason for that is I have another call I need to get to for a brand new coaching program that I am a part of. So I'm really excited for it because this is my first week in that program. It's going to be a 12-month program from a creator on YouTube who has previously worked with Ali Abdaal. He's worked with a lot of other kind of high-level creators, and he's got a really comprehensive program. So every day throughout the week, they've got a call on the calendar, and I'm going to try and be a part of those as much as I can so I can learn as much as I can and bring all of that information to you guys. So yes, I'm trying to level up because I know there's just so much to learn and so much to get better at, and I want to obviously impart all of that information to you guys. So yeah, the live stream will probably end up changing. I think I might have to move it to maybe like 1 Eastern potentially. So we'll see, because I do want to spend more time. I do want to like do, probably 2 hours with you guys each week. So yeah, today's topic, you can tell from the title, is going to be all about the new advanced mode in the YouTube studio. And I know you guys are like glazing over right now. This is going to be so boring for you guys if you're not into the analytics, but I promise you, I will make it worth your time. I will do my best to not drown you in boring information. I will try to make it applicable and relevant. And if you're in the 40 plus crowd, if you're a midlife creator and you're like, I don't look at the data, I don't know what I'm looking at, it's too confusing, I never go in there, then I'm going to hopefully ease you into it a little bit and make it more palatable, because I actually think there's some useful stuff in there. And of course, with the new update, it's a little bit easier to get into and use. So I see we got Big Mayo is back. Welcome back, sir. Rachel, yes, we are vibing this morning, courtesy of our friend Nenad at Liquid Hour DNB. So for anyone who likes the background music, here is Nenad's, here's the video I'm playing from our good friend Nenad, who goes by Liquid Hour DNB here on YouTube. And yeah, it's just good chill out music. We'll play it in the background. And if I get a copyright strike and I get kicked off of YouTube, you can all point your fingers at Nenad. So hopefully that is not an issue. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. What's up, old Mike? Good to see you, sir. And who else do we got here? The Carb Survivor. Get off my lawn. Yeah. So let's jump in. I'm going to show you guys the new changes to the advanced mode. I'm going to go into the YouTube studio. And if there's anything on the screen that I'm showing you and you're like, I have no idea what I'm looking at, do me a favor and slow me down. Tell me in the chat. Give me like a head exploding emoji if something is just way over your head. If you're not following along, or if like you want me to move on and go quicker, let me know, because I want to make sure that this is valuable and insightful for you guys. So Nenad, how's the audio levels? Is it good? Do I need to lower it? Do I need to increase it? I mean, you can't help but move to it, right? It's just so chill. Rob, what do you think for your live streams? Do you ever play music in the background? This is my first time doing it, so I'll need your guys' input on whether it's distracting or not. All right, so let's get nerdy. We're going to jump in to the YouTube studio and we're going to talk briefly about the new advanced mode, which is a new user interface. It's basically just a newer, simpler way to look at the data in the YouTube studio. So again, if you're brand new to it, then fear not. I'm going to try and ease you into some of the data, and I'm going to show you maybe some metrics that you've probably not looked at that you might want to consider looking at more regularly, so that you can evaluate if the videos you are making are actually growing your channel, or if you're really just catering more to your current subscriber base. Because I think there are pros and cons to doing both, and we'll talk a little bit about that. Now, not to intimidate you, but we're going to go into the analytics tab here on the right, or on the left. Yeah, the left. And then there's this button at the top that says advanced mode. You might not be able to see it because my stupid logo is up there. But if you see advanced mode, you can click on that. And if you want to follow along with me, feel free to do so. I'll go slow for you guys. But there's also this see more button right here. Whenever you see this see more button, that means you can get into a lot more of the data and the analytics than just what you see here on the regular dashboard. So we're going to click into see more. And what's new is this left options pane, if you will, for lack of a better way of describing it. It says advanced mode here at the top. You have all of these options and filters right down here. Previously, this was not here. And this new advanced mode feature has been rolling out slowly over the last couple weeks for more and more creators. So if you don't see that quite yet, it may be coming very shortly for you. So fear not. But what's interesting is you have this little toggle right here, the collapse menu. If you want to get rid of that filter set, you can certainly click on that little hamburger menu. And if you want to see it, it will pull it back. But sometimes it's nice because you get more real estate when you hide it. Okay. Another thing you might want to know about is this show chart toggle. And oftentimes, at least for me, and you guys tell me your input, These line graphs don't really do much for me. I don't really look at them very often. So if I want more real estate, I will simply toggle that off by clicking the little toggle. And what's left is just a list of all of my videos sorted by view count with a bunch of other analytics in here that I can look at to know if the videos are getting good watch time, if they're getting good click-through rates, things like that. So for our demo, I'm going to show you up here on the top left, this new drop down where it says report. Previously, this was not an option, at least not that I've seen. And somebody correct me if I'm wrong about anything I'm saying. But what's cool is that YouTube has generated for us just a handful of useful reports that they think we might find useful. And then another cool thing that I'll show you here in a minute is we now have the ability to save our own reports, our own custom views, if you will. That previously has never been a thing in the YouTube Studio, and it now finally is, which is awesome, because if there's certain things that you want to look at and you just hate going in here because you have to play with all the filters every single time, fear not, there will be basically a one-click solution for that. So that's pretty cool. And Ninad, thank you, by the way, for the super, very much appreciated. So let's just take a look at the pre-canned reports that YouTube gives us. And if you guys have any questions on any of this stuff, just let me know. We're going to look at the top content in the last 28 days. And really all this is doing is just showing us our highest performing videos sorted by view count. So this is pretty standard stuff. This isn't anything groundbreaking. We've had this for a long time already. It's going to give us our views, our watch time, subscribers, revenue for monetized impressions, and then click through over here on the right, which is kind of hidden. So this is not the most interesting report to show you, but I want to show you this one right here. It's the traffic sources in the last 28 days. So do you guys ever look at this? Do you ever analyze your traffic sources at all? Because this is kind of useful to know in some ways. For my channel, over the last 28 days, my top traffic source is Browse. So I'm going to quiz you guys. Who can tell me in the chat, what does Browse features mean as a traffic source? Does anyone know the answer to that question? I'll give you a second to respond. And if you don't know, just put a question mark or put like a thinking emoji. Okay, so Ninad is saying homepage, sidebar. Sidebar, maybe not. You'll have to tell me more what you mean by sidebar. But homepage, yes. So what's interesting too, by the way, if you don't notice, whenever you kind of move your mouse over one of these hyperlinks, you're going to get this little pop-up question mark, and you can read it. And it says, in this case, Browse features is a traffic source from the homepage and home screen, the subscription feed, and other browsing features. So homepage is essentially, Ninad's right about that. If you go to YouTube and you just sign into YouTube like you normally would on desktop, this is your homepage. So right now, our good friend Rob, I don't know if he's still in the chat or not, he is getting an impression from me because he is showing up right here on the homepage. So Rob, I'm not gonna click on your video, so this is gonna tank your CTR. Exactly. Ed Lawrence also getting an impression. School News also getting an impression. So all of these creators are now getting an impression from Browse features homepage from me. And then if I were to click on that video, that would be factored into their click-through rate. That's actually factored into their click-through rate either way. So sorry, Rob, I'm killing your CTR right now. So yeah, this is all homepage stuff. And then you'll notice as I mouse over, oops, let me go back. You'll notice it says homepage and home screen. Homepage is what I just showed you on desktop. Home screen is the actual home screen on mobile. Same exact thing. It's just where videos get fed to you when you sign into the mobile app or when you sign into YouTube, okay? Subscription is similar. From here, this is the subscription feed. So if I were to click on that, here are all the channels that I have subscribed to. Rob is one of them. And so Rob is now getting another impression from me, this time through subscriptions, which also factors into browse features. So now Rob is getting a second impression, and I'm not going to click on his thumbnail, so it's going to tank his CTR even more. Sorry, Rob, but you guys get the idea, right? You kind of understand the point. And then also in the mobile application, there's a button on the bottom right for subscriptions, and when you click on that, you'll get fed all these different videos from the channels that you're subscribed to. I hope this is making sense. So that is browse features. YouTube search, pretty straightforward. I think we all know what that is. That's basically when someone goes to YouTube and types something. So like, I don't know, maybe I'm typing how to get 4,000 watch time hours. And then here we got some videos that have popped up, of which maybe Rob is in here somewhere. Maybe let's find one of Rob's videos and we'll give him another impression. Okay, so here's myself right here, actually. So you get the idea, right? These are all videos that are now being served up to me via search. So this would count as YouTube search in terms of traffic source. Now, the next one is suggested. What do you guys think suggested is? Throw it in the chat. This one's a little trickier. It's not as clear cut. So the definition in the YouTube Studio is views from suggestions appearing alongside or after videos. So Ninad is saying up next. Okay. Prodigal is saying end card based on viewing history. So that's an interesting one. I don't believe end cards count in here because they have their own way of being tracked down here. So suggested is this: when you go into a video and you see all of the videos. Let me just disable my extensions really quick. I'm going to turn off vidIQ and TubeBuddy for the moment.
Hello, everyone.
All right, so when you're watching a video, all of the videos over here on the right side, of which, again, Rob, you are showing up in suggested for me. So this is now your third impression, and I'm not going to click on it. We're really killing Rob's CTR right now. So these are all suggested videos. These show up as suggested. And the reason, I don't know if you guys have seen this, but suggested CTRs are often really, really bad compared to others. So if you look at mine over here on the far right, I have a 1% click-through rate when my videos are shown in suggested. And that's because my videos are competing with all of these other videos. So it's really hard to earn the click, where in the browse screen, it's a bit different. So you can see my browse click-through rate is 4.8. So quite a bit better. And then my search CTR is 9.5. So way, way better, right? So I show you all of that just to kind of demystify what these traffic sources are. And of course, with the new advanced mode, you now have this pre-saved report that YouTube gives you, traffic sources in the last 28 days. And you can obviously change the date range. And you can change it to last 90 days. You can change it to last 7 days, whatever you really want to, because if you're maybe pivoting strategies and you want to do more evergreen style videos, more search-based videos, then checking over time if more and more of your impressions come from search is going to be a useful thing. So, does that all make sense? Give me a thumbs up in the chat so far if we're tracking nicely. Or give me one of those head explosion emojis if you guys are like, what the heck is he even talking about? And also, if you have a question on anything, I'm going to try and keep my eye on the chat too. Lego, yes, there was a new update in the YouTube Studio. There's a new advanced mode, which helps with viewing the analytics a little bit more. Okay, so Big Mayo's good. Lego's got some exploding head emojis. Lego, I don't know if you're on a laptop or mobile, but if you can go into your YouTube Studio on your laptop, check to see if you have this advanced mode. The way you get to it is from the analytics here on the left side, and then you click into see all, or sorry, see more. Okay, so those were the first two. Here's another interesting report that YouTube thinks we might benefit from. It's called Top Geographies in the Last 28 Days. So this is going to show you where your people are watching from. Do you guys ever look at this? You ever curious like where your viewers are watching your videos from? So here's my distribution right here. Nothing really super interesting about this other than just knowing that, this is where I get most of my viewership from. So those are the top 3 popular ones. There's a special report called Audience by Age and Gender. So there's some interesting insights in here, and this is probably useful for you to check because you really want to know, are your videos actually reaching the right people, the correct age demographic, the correct gender, and this will give you a really clean visual. So when we look at my channel, one thing I've noticed is that women for my channel account for 26% of my total views, but 30% of my watch time. So I think what that says is that the women watching my channel are more patient than the men, and the men tend to click away more quickly than the women do. So come on, guys, get it together. And thank you to all the ladies out there who are watching my stuff for longer than the men. So anyways, good correlation here between gender, age range, views, and watch time. I'd be curious if you guys look at this too. For your female viewers, do they have a higher percentage of watch time over percentage of views? Food for thought. This next one here is about audience retention. And this one, you have to look at it per video. So let me just pull up one of my videos. We'll pull up the how to get a transcript video. And you hit apply. And this is going to show you your retention graph for this particular video. And you can kind of see over time what percentage of people are still watching the video. And you can see the drop off over time. Hey, look, there's Rob again. Rob, you're getting another impression. I'm just kidding. It's not a real impression. But what's interesting about this too is you can actually look at retention by subscribers and non-subscribers. So when you click on that, you can see the green bar are people who are not subscribed to my channel, and the blue one are people who are subscribed to my channel. So what I'm noticing here is that my subscribers have much better retention. They tend to watch for longer, which is great, than my non-subscribers. And that might be because non-subscribers could be people who are still new to me and my channel, and they don't know me yet, or they don't really know my communication style. So check this out for yourself and see if there's a big disparity between the two. Now, in a perfect world, you'd have great retention from both camps, but I think it's pretty normal for most people to have higher retention from your subscribers than your non-subscribers. That makes sense. And then the other thing that's interesting is you can actually review this from new and returning viewers. So a new viewer is someone who's never seen your videos before. They've never met you. They've never watched anything that you've made. So these are fresh eyes on your video. And you can compare this to people who have previously seen you. Maybe they've watched another video, irrespective of whether they are subscribed or not. So again, you can see the retention graph. My returning viewers definitely have better retention up front and better retention throughout. Although my new viewers probably rewound and watch this section over again in this video. So just kind of cool to see this breakdown visually. Again, I hope I share this to not overwhelm or give you too many things to think about or look at, but it's just kind of nice to know it's in here. The first 24-hour video performance. This one is kind of cool, and I don't think this has been available previously. But what this is going to show you are your last, I think it's your last 50 videos, or maybe 25 videos. And basically, it's going to give you your top 5, which are right here. And these are going to be represented by these purple dots, right? And this is going to show you how each video on your channel has done within the first 24 hours of it being posted. Okay. All the gray ones are just the middle. They're the average videos for my channel. And all the blue ones are the poorest performing videos on my channel. So blue is bad in this case, gray is average, and the purple is really, really good. So these purple ones are the top performing videos on my channel within their first 24 hours of going live. And you can kind of mouse over these to see which videos they are. Obviously, it's gonna plot them chronologically based on launch date. And you can actually kind of go through each one and see, okay, in the first 24 hours of this one going live, it got 88 views. This was a live stream, so that makes sense why it's quite low. And then we've got this one here. This one got 168 views. Let's go with this one. This one got 629 views within the first 24 hours. So you can use this as a benchmark to know what your top performing videos are within that first 24 hours. So if that's useful to you. And then as you scroll down, you'll just see a list of those videos. So again, here are my top 5 right here. And then here are my bottom 5 right here. My bottom 5 tend to be live streams, which makes sense. And they also tend to be tutorial how-to style videos, which also makes sense. Okay, moving on. Let me show you guys how to make a report and save it. And this will be useful for anyone who wants to go a little bit deeper with their analytics, but doesn't want to fight with all of the different formatting and custom filtering every single time you go into the YouTube studio. So we're going to come back out. And here's what I want to show you guys. This how easy this is to save. I'm going to basically deselect every single metric. So just in case you're following along, I've picked this top report up here that says show top content for the last 28 days. I'm going to come to this metrics filter right here, and I'm going to deselect everything. So now there's going to be no metrics shown at all. For this particular report that I want to save, what I do want to look at is number of views, and I want to look at new viewers versus returning viewers. Okay, so we're going to look at really 3 different things. So I'm going to click on views right here, and then I'm going to scroll down. Actually, I'm going to click on subscribers too, because I want to know if these videos are growing the channel. And we'll click on new viewers and returning viewers. And then when you hit apply, it's going to show just those metrics. Now I'm going to undo the chart so that we have more real estate. And now you can see just these 4 metrics. I'll get rid of this panel over here. And now we have a really simple view of very specific data in the YouTube studio. And what's good to know about this view is how your videos are drawing in more people to your channel versus nurturing the existing people who already watch your content. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to click right over here where it says save report. I'm going to click on that. I'm going to name it. Actually, let me go back one. I want this to be just videos. I don't want live streams or shorts to show up in here. So I'm going to come here to this filter on the left. I'm going to click on content type. I'm going to do videos only. So now this is just long form videos. And now I'm going to save it right here. And I'm going to call this new verse returning. And we'll just do long form. Okay. Now, For those of you out there who haven't been in the YouTube studio much, this might be foreign to you. But what you might want to ask yourself if you're struggling to grow your channel, if you want to get more subscribers, you might be asking, how do I make videos that have more broad appeal than just to my existing community or my existing subscriber base? And this is a great view for that, because this is going to show you the the number of views that your new viewers, people who've never met you before, are having per video compared to returning viewers. So we'll look at this one as an example. How I would learn to grow on YouTube if I could start over. And let me actually change the date range to 90 days. So how I would learn to grow on YouTube if I could start over. That one I published earlier in June. This one got 156 views from people who have never met me before. Okay. It also got 338 views from people who've already watched my content. So my existing viewers were disproportionately higher than new people to my channel. As a result, I picked up 15 subscribers from this video. And so now you can actually do a little bit of math and say, okay, well, what's 15 divided by 156? It's about 10%. So this video actually converted really well for me. New eyeballs to subscribers at about 10% rate. So that's a little bit of math you can do just off the cuff by looking at some of these numbers. Other videos like this one here, how to get any YouTube transcript, had 277 new people see it for the very first time, but that one only converted 6 subscribers. So in terms of videos to grow my channel, this one didn't do nearly as well as this one right here. So you can use this as a way of saying, okay, what types of topics get new viewers to look at my video, and then which videos are actually converting at a higher percentage new viewers into subscribers. So that was a lot. I hope that makes sense. Anything I say confuse you guys? Any questions on this view here? Let me know what you think on this. Let me catch up on the chat real quick too. Mike's Adventure Sparks, welcome. Nicola, welcome. Patrick Masters, welcome. It's going well. Thank you for asking. Good to see you guys. Mike, you're asking, why are mine all blue? Which part? Let me know. And if I've missed the question, you guys just retype it. Put some cues in front of it. So anyways, this was the one thing I really wanted to show you, is this particular view where you can look at all of your videos and get a good idea of, does this topic pull in new viewers, and am I converting those new viewers to subscribers? So if there's anything you take away from today's lesson with the advanced mode, it's going to be saving this as a report, because this will help you with your strategy. If your strategy is to grow your community, then you can look at the topics that get a lot of returning viewers. Or if your strategy is to grow subscribers, then you can look at the topics that have a lot of new views, if that makes sense. So now what's cool about this too, is if you undo this filter here for videos, you can do this also for live streams. So if you also do live streams, or if you do shorts, you can have a shorts only report as well. So I'm going to filter this to live streams, and then I'm going to save this as well. And we'll just name it new versus returning live stream. And now what this is going to show me as well is, how am I doing on pulling in new viewers on my live streams? Because every week, as you guys know, I do a live stream every Thursday. And the goal, hopefully in time, is for more and more new people to find the live stream, to hang out with us, to participate, to ask questions, and then eventually to become a subscriber on the channel. So if I look at this over time, I can really evaluate how well I'm doing on my live streams. So in this case, my live stream last week only pulled in 22 newer sets of eyeballs, But 2 weeks ago, I pulled in 65 new sets of eyeballs. So it's a pretty big difference. And then in terms of returning viewers, if this number were to continuously go down every week, then what that tells me is I'm not doing a great job on my live stream. So for those of you who are doing lives, this is a really good view to know if you're actually getting better every single week by pulling in new people and also keeping all of your returning people coming back every single time. Okay, so Lego's got a question about live streams. Would you say that live streams are better to get watch time than long forms? I think yes, because one, they're oftentimes less, they're easier to do. Like you can do it every single week, or I know in your case, Lego, you do them pretty regularly, right? So you can do live streams pretty often and there's no editing required. You can just kind of hang out, talk to your people. And if you have good content, then that can actually get a lot of views after the fact once it's a video on demand. And that can really help with watch time. However, live streams tend to not go viral, whereas long form videos obviously have a better shot at virality. And if a video takes off and goes viral, then it can really, really add to your watch time. Yeah, every single day. Good for you, man. That's great. More power to you. I think it's cool, like if you build a community and you get to be able to do live streams frequently for them. If they come and hang out with you every day or every couple days or whatever your cadence is, that's amazing to have that kind of community built. So good on you. All right, so I think that's probably enough for the analytics, you guys. If there's any other questions or thoughts, let me know. Curious if there's anything else on your mind. And also, yes, happy 4th for everyone celebrating in the US tomorrow. I can't believe how quickly this summer is going by. Oh, wow. I didn't know that. Starting July 22nd, you have to be 16 years old to stream? Really? That's too bad. So what are you going to do? Yeah, exactly. That's a big deal actually for you, Lego, because you do stream a lot. Oh, you have to have a parent in the background. That's interesting. Oh my gosh, Mayo, that's hilarious. Put a cardboard cutout of his dad. That's amazing. Like, so what happens if you stream and you're not 16? You get flagged somehow? Like, how do people know? Yeah, that's crazy. Weird. I wonder why they're doing that. Is it to like protect younger people? Like, is there like a lot of abuse that happens on live streams when younger people go live? That's too bad. So yeah, hold on. Let me make sure I'm not missing any questions, you guys. So Living with Parkinson's says, Myanmar channel really isn't growing like I wanted it to, so I'm going to have to start doing regular long form videos along with my live streams. Yeah, I mean, I think it's smart to have a combination of both, because live streams only, I feel like there's just not enough reach. You know what I mean? So yeah, for me, my strategy is live streams on Thursdays and then long form videos on Mondays, and then hopefully build a robust library of content on my YouTube channel for my long form that people discover me from that, and then they join the live streams to participate in the community. But yeah, I think it's a good strategy to have both. Is anyone celebrating anything, doing anything fun for tomorrow's holiday here in the States? We are going camping in the mountains with some friends. So we'll be heading out tomorrow morning or later tonight. I'm not sure. So the Carb Survivor is asking, how deep do you go into retention drop-off points? Do you try and find out why, or just get on to the next video? That's a good question. I usually don't dig in too much into the actual drop-off points. The only thing I look at in the retention graphs is the 30-second retention, because that's something that I think is easier to fix with your hook and your intro and just making sure you get to the good stuff more quickly. But if you're more advanced and you're doing a lot of script writing and you're really trying to analyze like what parts of the script are you losing people, then it can help to look at the retention graphs and the drop-offs. But I would say for most people, especially newer people, don't think too much about it, because oftentimes where the people are dropping off is not indicative of you having said something at that moment. It could have been something that was done 30 seconds prior that ended up causing them to drop off at a certain point, if that makes sense. So it's not like you can always draw that correlation. Nice, Mike. Where do you go camping? I'd love to know if you've got a particular spot in mind that you like to go to. Thank you, Lauren. Appreciate ya. Lego's going to a pool party. That sounds fun. Good for you, man. You said you're in Florida? I think you're traveling? Is that right? Okay, Mike is asking about, is there an easy way in the analytics to find where your videos and shorts have been remixed without going into... That's a good question. I don't know. Let me look. Would it be under... No, it's not under mentions, because mentions is when somebody tags you, right? Content... So Mike, you're saying that you actually have to go into each individual video itself to see if something's been remixed. I wonder if you can go here. Hold on, let me look. Ooh, Mike, right here. Remix count. Remix views. Okay, I think this might be it. Yeah. Okay, Mike, let me walk you through this. So for anyone who wants to know how you can see in the YouTube studio if your videos are being remixed by other creators, then from your YouTube studio dashboard right here, you'll basically come into analytics and then you'll hit see more. And if you have the new view already, then on the left side, let me make that a little bit bigger. On the left side, you'll see the advanced mode options. You can come into metrics and you could deselect everything, and then you could just type in remix. And then you'll be given these two options of remix count and remix views. And then you can hit apply. And then you can change your date range. I'll just do 365. And so this is going to show I have two videos that have remix counts and remix views. So is this what you were looking for? Yeah, okay. It looks like that's it. Yeah, I hope that's helpful. Mike, you'll have to let us know in the chat if you go in here, if you're finding that a lot of your stuff is remixed. I'd be curious on that. So Mike, you do camping around Minnesota. Cool. Try to get a trip back to Colorado. That's where you're from. Oh, you're from Boulder. Okay, cool. Nice. Yeah, so we're probably going to go to the Leadville area, and we've been to Buena Vista recently for camping. So Twin Lakes, Clear Creek. So that's probably where we'll be this weekend. Okay, so Two Veins, 1 Liter is saying, hi Ty, I just want to quit YouTube. 2 months postings, no results, 23 subs. Okay. Well, first of all, I know where you're coming from. I can totally feel that because it's hard. Yeah, I've been there. Let me pull up your channel if you don't mind. We'll take a look. We can maybe see what's going on the channel. If you're okay with that, we'll do a little, almost like a little quick mini channel review. So Two Veins, 1 Liter. All right, so this is in another language. I wonder if I can translate. Okay. Let me know if you guys can see this. I've translated it to English. So let me ask you, what would you say the purpose of your channel is? Like, what are you going after? What are your goals with YouTube? And what's the mission or purpose of your channel? Let me know. Type that out in the chat. So we've got your banner, which looks very clean. I just can't read it because I don't speak. I don't speak the language. But we've got your description here to prove to you that we can be leaders in our lives. Okay. Okay, that's a little bit ambiguous. So it's kind of hard to tell what the channel is about. So you help people. Okay, so it's French. Help people to survive and live well in their jobs and business. So that might be something to put up here in your description. You know, like, what's the purpose of the channel is to help people survive and live well in their jobs and business. And I don't know if that's reflected somewhere in your banner, but that could be. I don't know what this really means as it relates to the channel description. So maybe you can help me out with that. But it looks like you've been posting for, let's see, latest, popular, oldest. I don't know why your recent videos are showing up. You said 2 months, I think, right? You translate this back. So I think one thing is, you know, it's not really clear from the thumbnails. I don't know why I can't translate this English. There we go. So let me ask the chat, do you guys have any feedback? Is there anything that you see here on the channel that you might call out or recommend? Sadly, I can't read French on the thumbnails, so I'm not really sure what the thumbnail text is saying, but it looks like it's a combination of your face. There's not that many words on the thumbnails, which is a good thing, usually. I will say though, like, it feels like the design elements are a bit sporadic. Some of your thumbnails include you in them, and then some of them are AI, it looks like. So maybe just kind of landing the plane and simplifying the thumbnails a little bit. Yeah. Carolyn's suggesting more consistency with the thumbnails. That'll help with branding. Branding is important with recognition, familiarity, and trust. Yeah. I would say though, your titles are mostly pretty short, which is good. And I'm hoping these English translations ring true from the French translation. Yeah, I mean, I don't think the titles are half bad. I would say you don't need hashtags in your titles at all. So you can probably get rid of that. But also, how do you create more drama in the titles? Like, how do you create more intrigue or curiosity? How do you lean into a pain point, right? So like, if your mission is to help people or to talk about leadership, what is the negative effect of poor leadership, right? Like, what's the downside? And then how do you incorporate that into the title? Like, how do you press on the pain of bad leadership? Yeah, so this one, like, leadership, 10 keys to the best managers. Now, again, I know that's like a rough English translation, but maybe you could repurpose that to like the 10 manager traits that, I don't know, like that employees trust the most, or like, something like that, like being a little more descriptive about it, or the top 10 manager traits that earn the most loyalty or reduce the amount of employee like turnover. Like, how do you incorporate desire and then also reducing negativity or reducing a pain point in the title? I wish I could be more descriptive. It's just a little hard with the language barrier. But also, I would also convince you that you're 2 months into this, right? You really have to think about YouTube as a 3 to 5 year project. And I know I say that constantly, but you really need to think about this in terms of years and not months. And you need to really put your viewer first and try to figure out what is it that my viewers need. And if you don't know what they need, that's tough, right? You really need to do a lot of research into your ideal customer avatar. You probably need to ask questions in other channels, like in the comments of other channels. You probably need to go to other places where people hang out. Maybe LinkedIn, maybe Reddit, maybe other forums, Facebook groups, like other places where people come together to talk about leadership and maybe the gaps around leadership. And then you can start to formulate, what do people really care about? Like, what are they talking about with respect to these topics? And then you can craft videos directly targeted to answer those questions. So hopefully that's helpful, but don't give up. 2 months, you're barely putting your pinky toe in the water at this point. So just keep at it, because it's going to take a long time to build some traction. Even when you have crystal clear clarity, and even when you've got super dialed in thumbnails and titles, it can still take many, many months for people to discover you, for the algorithm to actually serve up the impressions needed to start to build momentum. So don't be discouraged. Everyone goes through this awkward growing stage. And thank you guys for all the feedback too. Appreciate it. Appreciate the feedback. Yeah, I like Mike's suggestion. Stick with YouTube for at least a year and then take an assessment. Set modest goals. And yeah, focus on your output. Focus on your inputs and not the outputs or the results. Like, just focus on staying as consistent as possible. Focus on thinking more deeply and intentionally about the topics, and then just getting better at delivery. In time, things will start to happen, but 2 months is not enough time. And I like Mike's suggestion about a year, because, it's almost like the equivalent of trying to learn to ride a bike without training wheels for the first time and giving yourself 2 minutes to figure it out. And if you suck after 2 minutes and you walk away, well, you're never going to learn to ride a bike. So you got to give yourself hours to learn how to ride the bike. Yeah, no problem. MHD, I do have you in my inbox. Thank you for checking out the live stream. And yeah, I'll get back to you. Yeah, thanks, Don. So you guys, I'm sad because I don't get to spend that much time with you today, but was there any other thoughts or questions that I missed in the chat? Anything else on your mind? Anything as it relates to the YouTube studio, how to look at your data, maybe just like what data is important. I tend to overcomplicate things. I know that, but I think knowing your returning viewers and your new viewers is helpful. And then of course, knowing your retention and your click-through rate as important. So if I had to distill anything from the YouTube studio, it would be those two reports. So you can certainly rewatch the live stream if you want to see those step-by-steps on how to do those reports. It's pretty straightforward. And then once you do it, here's another pro tip I'll show you really quick. So once you have your report saved, you guys, so you notice, remember when I saved these two reports down here? You can actually click into one of them. And then if you want to grab the link, the URL, you can't see it because of the way I'm sharing my screen, but if you just go to the URL bar and you copy the link, then what you can do is you can go into your calendar and maybe you want to set a reminder, like every single week, remind yourself to go in there to look at the data. So I'm going to set a little, a task for Mondays. We'll make it repeat every single Monday. And it'll say review analytics. And then you could put the link to that saved report right in your task in Google. And I'm sure you can do this with any other calendar tool. So now every single week, I'm going to get this reminder to review my analytics. And all I got to do on Mondays is come in here, click on the link, and boom, it pulls me right into the exact report that I had saved. So if you guys forget to pop into the analytics, or you're like, I don't remember how I filtered to get the data that I want to see, all you got to do is set up the report one time, set a recurring task for yourself, and you'll get notified every single week to come in here and look at your stuff. So hopefully that's helpful, a helpful tip for you guys too. So if I don't talk to you, have a wonderful 4th of July for those of you celebrating in the US, and for those of you outside of the US who are expats who also celebrate, hope you have a wonderful day. And I'm going to leave it here because I do have to run to another call. But thank you guys for being here. I appreciate all the support. And we'll do this again next week, hopefully in a longer format. And if you have any topic ideas or things that you want me to dig into, just let me know. Happy to do so. And with that, have a great start to your weekend, your long weekend, hopefully. And we'll talk soon. Thanks, everybody. Good to see you. Have a great one.